Hamlet 1.
In this extract we are about to read Hamlet reflects on the meaning of life and death. He is speaking to himself, but the audience can share his thoughts about him through the monologue. The opening lines adapt the problem: to continue living or to commit suicide? Why must we accept the difficulties of the quarrel? When can we put an end to them by committing suicide? The main reason for continuing to live is that we don't know what comes after death. The thought of this makes us uncertain, and uncertainty impairs our ability to act. This gives his thought a universal depth that qualifies Hamlet as a modern hero.
Nel brano che stiamo per leggere, Amleto riflette sul senso della vita e della morte. Lui sta parlando a se stesso, ma il pubblico può condividere i suoi pensieri su di lui attraverso il monologo. Le righe di apertura sommano il problema: continuare a vivere o suicidarsi? Perché dovremmo accettare le difficoltà della vita quando possiamo porre fine a loro suicidandoci? La ragione principale per continuare a vivere è quella che non sappiamo cosa viene dopo la morte. Il pensiero di questo ci rende incerti e l'incertezza compromette la nostra capacità di agire. Questo dà ai suoi pensieri una profondità universale che qualifica Amleto come eroe moderno.
Hamlet 2.
The love and emotion Hamlet has for his deceased father are some of the strongest and emphatic examples of love in this play. When we dig deeper, the relationships between Hamlet and his father, the admiration and love for him, is extremely evident. Hamlet is in the sad and depressed phase of mourning. Due to the anger and his desire for revenge, he expresses this soliloquy with indecision. The fact that he doesn't know how to behave after the incident and his indecision make him useless. Hamlet 3.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whatever it is noble in the mind to suffer, the sling and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing and them, to die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say, we enter an attack, and with 1,000 unnatural shocks. That flesh is here too. 'Tis a consummation devotiously to be wished. Dream. High, this to rob, for in the sleep of death, what dreams may come. When we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause, theirs to the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear on whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the prose man continued.
Of the surprising, the lows below, the insolence of office, and the springs that passion merit of them worthy takes. When be himself mighty Vitus make with a brave boat king, who would fearless bear to grunts and sweet under a weary life.
But death, the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from was birth. No traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those deals we have, than fly to others that we not of.
like cowards of us all, and thus the natural view of resolution is declined over with the pale cast of thought, and in the preciseness of with pitch and moment, we disregard the current tone hurry, and lose the name of action.
Ovunque sarai, ovunque sarò, in ogni gesto io ti cercherò. Se non ci sarai, io lo capirò, e nel silenzio io ti
The story begins with the king of Denmark dying. Thereafter, Claudius, his brother, is crowned king, and he marries his brother's wife, the queen. This causes many problems and arrests especially to Hamlet, the king's son. One day, Hamlet's friend Horatio, along with two guards, see a ghost who looks like the dead king. Horatio tells Hamlet what he saw the night before, and Hamlet decides to go and see if the ghost comes back. When the father appears as a ghost again, he tells Hamlet the truth about his death, and then asks him to take revenge for his terrible murder. Later that afternoon, before leaving the country, Laertes, Polonius' son, and advisor to the king, tells his sister Ophelia not to believe Hamlet's declaration of law because of rumors that Hamlet has lost his mind. Hamlet asks a company of actors to act out a scene of his father's murder in order to expose Claudius' guilty conscience.
When Claudius sees the play, he jumps to his feet and leaves. Later, Hamlet goes to his mother's chamber to talk with her about Claudius. But while he is there, he hears something behind the curtain and thinks that it's Claudius and thrusts his sword into the curtain, where Polonius' body falls to the ground. Toward the end of the play, Claudius and Laertes plan to murder Hamlet. They decide to put poison on the tips of Laertes' sword and to poison Hamlet's chalice, and organize a duel between Hamlet and Laertes. Ophelia, Hamlet's fiancée, drowns and dies, which saddens Hamlet. Later on decides to meet Hamlet and fight against Laertes. Claudius the king plans to kill Hamlet, put poison into Hamlet's drink, which in turn is accidentally drunk by Gertrude, his mother. During the final sword fight, Laertes and Hamlet are both struck by the sword with poison on it, and they both die. This dramatic play ends with Claudius, Gertrude, Laertes, and Hamlet dying.
We are going to talk about Ophelia's love. Ophelia and Hamlet loved each other, but for several reasons they could not stay together. The first reason was because everybody thought that he became crazy after his father's death. Ophelia's brother, Laertes, told her to stay away from him. Hamlet said that he loves Ophelia, yet is aggressive and violent towards her. Ophelia at the end killed herself because this unrequited love, and also because Hamlet accidentally killed her father.
Alzati, Fra.
Hamlet free!
No, ma tu sei altissimo, io come faccio? Sì, prova. Basta, rialzati. No, tu devi tagliare. Via. Ma ciao, non lo dici?
Sì, sì.
Chapter 1.
Aspetta, ci sta.
Via. Noemi, ti devi mettere un po' più close perché non si vede.
Proviamo un attimo a
Smettetevi. Lo so, però. Alzati. Via.
Hamlet free.
Perfetto. No, aspetta, devi partire, via. Barbara!
Scusate. Così manco. Posso? Mi ha detto via!
Ma se ti dico 3, 2, 1!
Ma mi devi dire via!
Of love in display. When we dig deep.
Is the question. Whatever it is, no.
No, Francesco, ti devi
Devi guardare!
Barbara!
Cos'è? Acchiappa la palpa. Qua?
Devi fare tu. No, ti devi mettere da quel lato, però devi stare tipo. Quando ti alzi, ti fai tipo così, bravo. Vedi se ci entri.
Dove devo entrarci?
No, vai giù, non ci può entrare. Senti?
Magari faccio tipo così. Tipo un po'
Anche
più storto.
sì, ok. Prova.
Hamlet free.
To be or not to be.
Hamlet free.
To be or not to be. That is the question.
No, Barbara.
Oh, però oggi non si può fare più nulla comunque. Adesso per farci niente.
Estinguiti, è l'unica scelta.
Perché se metto il foglio cosa?
Francesco, no, tu ti devi levare, ok? Piano piano.
Ho capito, però. Hamlet free.
Aspetta,
Insomma.
non mi posso sedere?
No.
Il pensiero di questo ci rende incerti e l'incertezza completamente. Lo sapevo!
Brava.
Ma pure faccio così.
Bravissimo. Brava, vai.
Dimmi tu quando alzarmi.
Vai.
Hamlet free.
No, alza un pochino di più il coso, però. Solo quello, tu resta.
Tipo così, Hamlet free.
Ok, pronti?
Vabbè, mi metto un po' così. Oh, non c'è troppo alto.